Um, but we'll go to the big boys here, and some rumors will be going out with the Kyrie
Drama.
Irving injury and Jason Kidd.
Drama.
So there's a lot of, well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but there's some analysts, NBA analysts out there that are saying the reason for Kyrie Irving's knee injury has to do with the amount of playing time that he was having. Jason Kidd came out and said that this was a whole freak accident and it has nothing to do with the playing time.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true on what he's saying, or are you siding with the NBA analyst that they think that he was playing too much, which caused it?
No, I side with Jason Kidd because Kyrie was only averaging about 36 minutes a game. Like that's not out of the ordinary for star players like that. Like I get it, he's about 30, 31, if I'm not mistaken. Like he's up there, but
Mhm.
you got you've got LeBron James averaging 36 minutes a night and he's perfectly fine. So like I don't think the minutes is what's doing it for him. I just like I agree with Kidd. Like I think that it's just one of those freak accidents. Like it was a non-contact injury. It happens. We've seen this happen in how many different sports where nobody gets hit in the knee at all, but they just their ACL tears. It's just wrong time, wrong place, maybe like wrong footing or something like that. It just gives. It happens. And so for them to just say, "Oh, well, it's workload." It's like, dude, look at his workload this season. It's literally 2 extra minutes than what he's typically at, or not even that, 1.5 extra minutes than what he's averaged per his career. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I think the people that were saying this, I think they really didn't even see the play.
Yeah.
I think that they were just talking out of their asses, you
Yeah.
know, and they
Yeah.
weren't really thinking about what the hell they were saying because, dude, you see the way that he just went off on that move and tried to go for that layup. The way that he landed on that knee was
Yep.
just horrible. He
Yep.
had his leg more forward than his body, than
Yep.
his upper body, his torso, and all that.
Knees over toes.
And you can see how the knee bended backwards.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with the playing time. Yes, your body takes a toll when you play too much,
Yep.
100%. But the treatment that he's getting, the rest that he's getting, the people that are very professional at what they're doing to get him right to play every single game know what they're doing, and they're doing things perfectly for him out there. It was just a freak accident, like Jason Kidd said. If you watch the play, you can tell that it was just a freak accident. It sucks
Yep.
that it happened to him. You know, you wouldn't want to see that happen to anybody. Where we seen that couple of times with crazy freak accidents like
Yep.
Paul George, Gordon Hayward, and the list goes on and on. But
You don't even need to
just
go into the pros to see this stuff. I literally,
exactly,
yeah,
literally go to the park.
when I literally came back from injury back in high school, and within, I want to say a few days, I tore the ACL on my right knee. So like, it, it's not something where it can happen to anybody. It just depends on, like you said, look at what happened with Derrick Rose when he tore his ACL. It wasn't because of the workload or anything like that. It was literally the way he landed. He did not know how to land properly. It was always on one leg. And it's like, yeah, when you put all that weight on one leg coming down from that height, you're gonna tear something. So there's always an explanation for this kind of stuff, and you don't have to blame it on workload. The numbers don't add up with that.
And another thing I want to add to this,
Yeah.
the people that are saying or that are making up the rumor of him playing too much, you are a part of the problem of load
Yep.
management
Yep.
because we want to see the NBA players out there and play for the fans because it's an entertainment business, it's an entertainment industry.
Yep.
If you're out here starting up these rumors and saying that they're playing too much, this is why load management happens. And
Yep.
then those same people, I would put money on, a
Yep.
substantial amount of money on, that they would be the first ones complaining
Yep.
when there's players load managing like Kawhi Leonard
Yep.
used to do. Obviously, he's playing now. He's doing pretty good. But
Yep.
Joel Embiid, before we found out that he needed another knee surgery, and other players across the league. And it's like, you got to pick one side.
Yep.
You can't be jumping back and forth because that's not how the league's gonna get fixed.
Yep. And
And it's very selfish. It's very selfish.
yeah, and also too, correct me if I'm wrong, does it not seem like we have had more players getting injured even with quote unquote load management? Like so many stars, Kawhi Leonard, load management, but he still gets hurt every single season. So this load management thing, it's not the be all end all of solutions for the league. Like, oh, like take 2 nights off in a row. It's like, no, if anything, that can also hurt your body because you're not going out there. If you're not active, if you're not doing something, your body's not going through the motions like it normally does. It's getting weaker. And as such, when you go out there and actually put it under extreme loads the next time out, your risk of injury could go up. This is basic exercise physiology too. Like if I go and I don't work out for like 2 weeks and I go back in the gym and I start trying to hit the weights I used to do, I'm going to probably tear a muscle by doing that because I've given my body too much time off and now it's getting weaker as a result.
And I love the fact that you brought that up, that it's a basic, it's just the basics, because I feel like it's just common sense.
Yep.
Athletes are playing at a super high level, getting paid millions of dollars,
Yep.
training their bodies each and every day, putting a lot of pressure on their bodies, a lot of tolls being taken. And it's
Yep.
like, you don't expect for these players to get injured, man. Like, dude, it's gonna happen, bro. You go to the park, just like BC was mentioning, you're gonna get injured. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, you could
Yeah.
get fouled and your shoulder comes out of place, or even just messing up your finger and a jam finger or something like that. You're gonna get fouled, bro. It's gonna freaking happen. Like,
Well, and that's the other
for
thing
the
that
people that don't think that these players are gonna get injured, like, yo, y'all need to wake up, bro. It's kind of common sense.
yeah, and some of these injuries too that they give them, like right bone contusion or like right foot contusion or something like that. It's like basically you got a bruise or a bone bruise. Oh my gosh, like cry me a river. Like I'm sorry, there are certain injuries. Yes, torn ACL, repair it, take your
Oh,
time. But other
of
times it's like
course.
if you have a bruise, I'm sorry,
You better
go
get the
out
hell
there.
out there. You better get out
Yeah,
there. You better get out there.
like I'm
I
sorry,
don't
but
want to hear
like
none of that. No,
yeah,
bruise. And you talking about you ain't gonna play and you getting paid what, $500,000 a game?
yeah.
Got it.
Like if you get something like bruised ribs or something where it's like, you're breathing and it could be like shorter, but like I understand that maybe to a certain extent, but just depending on the injury, like case by case basis, not every single injury needs to be thrown with 2 games off, 3 games off. Like, oh,
Right.
you got
Right.
to, oh, you got cracked ribs. Yeah. Take time off. You got a bruised forearm. Dude,
You better
really?
get out there. You better get
Yeah.
out there right now.
Come on.
I
And
got money
obviously
on
I'm
you.
big. Yeah. Of course, G Mike wants it for
Yo,
the
this is
money.
my parlay, bro. You better get out there right now, bro.
Obviously that example is very hyperbolic, but the point stands is that load management, I think now we're getting to a point where it's proving to be a detriment because instead of the body taking time off and resting and getting stronger, they're getting too much time off. They're resting too much and their body's getting weaker as a result. Go
But
figure.
okay, so if we really want to fix this,
Yeah.
why not shorten the season? Like
Yeah.
like maybe 3 games a week for each team.
Yeah, or if you want, spread out the games. Instead of doing like you said, like do 3 games over the course of a week and make it, maybe the games start in maybe get rid of preseason too. I think preseason's kind of a joke. Just do
I
training
just
camp.
I just think 82 games is a lot. Like
You can start at 80.
we are diehard sports fans. We
Yeah.
watch games on a daily basis. We watch highlights on a daily basis. Like, I'm talking about me and you.
Yeah.
And you're gonna tell me you watch all 82 Orlando Magic games? No.
I watch the ones I
Negative.
get paid to go work at.
Negative. You do not watch every
I
Magic
watch every home game because I get scheduled.
because you're working the game.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
away games,
Yep.
because you can still
Yeah.
watch it. You can still
Yep.
watch the away games. You
Yep.
got the cable channel for the Orlando Magic, which is Bally Sports here in Orlando.
And do sports. Yeah.
Yes. Do you watch every away game?
Nope. No.
So it's like, why not just shorten it, man? 82 games is a lot. Why not 50?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and then even like 70, because that's how most players usually the average or the goal for a lot of players is 70 games per season for like awards. I wouldn't mind that because then you could also pay. You could also pay the fans more, or not the fans. Not the fans. You could pay the regular workers more because there's less games. Be like, yeah, stack some of those. Like instead of 250 for 40 games, you work all those. Like you work 30 games, you get 300. I don't know.
I just don't. I just don't see the purpose of 82.
Yeah.
I don't see the purpose of that. Like
Well, and because it's so long,
most basketball fans. Sorry to cut you off.
you're good.
Most basketball fans want to watch the playoffs.
Yep.
The few diehard NBA fans still won't watch 82 games.
Yeah.
Might as well cut it down 30 games, 25 games, whatever the case is, and get amped for playoffs. You give players, let's say 3 games a week. We'll say we'll give them 3 games a week. You give players in between time to rest, not taking that much toll on their body. You get rid of load management, and the players are playing 100% in each and every game. That obviously, if they're not injured, like a severe injury, like a torn ACL, that they just have a bone contusion, bruise, they'll get out there and play because it's not going to be a toll on their bodies if they're only playing 50 games. But 82,
Yep.
like, bro,
Yeah.
like, dude, that's a lot. There's some teams that play 5 games in 1 week, and I know this because of fantasy basketball.
Yeah. Well, and also too the fact that they have to literally make, I want to say like that time from November until December for the Emirates Cup. They literally have to now change that to make those games interesting for fans to watch because nobody really watches those games. It's like doesn't make sense.
Yeah.